Here's an example of graphing a sine function. So they're asking which of the following graphs is the correct plot of 2 sine x. So the notes that I sent you should help. Here's the notes, graphing sine and cosine functions. So we notice a sine function starts in the middle, goes high, goes low, comes back to the middle. Whereas a cosine function starts high, goes low, comes back high. Now I want you to know that they're both the same thing, they're just starting in different positions, right? If I kept the cosine graph going, well, I'm not doing too well there. Well, that's even worse. Well, yeah, I'm not a very good drawer, but you get the idea. They're the same thing. See, it would just connect right up with that one. So the sine and cosine graph are exactly the same thing. They're just starting in different points. The cosine graph, let me back that up. The cosine graph starts at the top and ends at the top. Whereas the sine graph starts in the middle and ends in the middle. So that's the only difference between them. They're the same graph, they're just starting and ending in a different spot. They're both the curve that goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Remember, sine and cosine are made up functions to represent things in the real world that are periodic, cyclical, go up and down, up and down, up and down. So both sine and cosine do the same thing. They just start at different points. We use them to represent different things in the real world that start in the middle of their cycle, sine, or start at the top of their cycle, cosine. Now, and you can read about all that down here. But in addition, sometimes we can have upside down. If you put a negative in front of the sine, it'll go down first and then up and back to the middle. Put a negative in front of cosine, it'll start low, go high in the middle, and go back low. So they've been turned upside down. That negative in the front turns them upside down. Okay, and now the number that's in the front, the 4, that's how high the sine graph goes. That's how far it goes above and below its middle line. There's a 3 in front, here's the middle line. Then the cosine graph goes 3 above its middle and 3 below its middle. So the number in the front is called the amplitude. Right here, the number in the front. And it's how far the graph goes above and below its middle. So let's get back to this one then. 2 sine. So sine has got to start in the middle, like this one starts in the middle, this one starts in the middle, this one. This one here is a cosine graph because he's starting high and ending high, right? So he's not our answer. So 2 sine. Now this one goes down first. So this is a negative sine graph, -1. It goes down 1. This one goes down 2. This is a -2 sine graph. This one goes up 2, +2 sine, and that's the one we're looking for. There we go.